TIFU by confessing after almost 5 years of friendship. Throwaway. Happened a few days ago. Situation came to a close today. I am 24, confessed to my friend of 5 years, F26, that I had begun developing romantic feelings towards her beginning almost 4 years ago. She heard me out and then said that she needed space to think it over. I was okay with that and knew what was gonna happen regardless. She was my closest friend as I didn't have many, and even when I was in a relationship with a romantic relationship with another female, I still sometimes went to her to talk or hang out. Yeah, I'm in for it. I was lying to myself being in a relationship with someone I didn't care for. I just didn't want to be alone. Eventually she broke it off. She didn't love me anymore. I didn't either towards the end. So only recently I decided to just confess because I was done hiding it and I wasn't in a romantic relationship anymore. She just got back to me today. She doesn't want to be my friend at all given my feelings towards her, and she does not reciprocate. So now I have one less friend after 5 years of knowing her. At least she said goodbye nicely. She'll probably see this. I don't know. I don't care anymore. I should have never said anything. Oof. TLDR, I confessed my feelings and lost my friend forever. You both did yourselves a favor. At least you have closure now. Accept it and move on. You're better off knowing. More of a FU but waiting so long, don't you think? Take this from a 50-year-old man. You're young and you have your whole life ahead of you. You will find friends and more as you go on. I promise. You did the right thing. Don't dwell on it anymore. Take care, buddy. Your only mistake was not doing it sooner. It's totally feasible for a friendship to survive. Hey, crazy idea, but what if we dated not going your way? But it's a lot harder to come back from confessing to having feelings for years. I feel like decades of media have tried to teach us all otherwise, but actually super sincere confessions of attraction to friends, coworkers, or classmates basically never go well. Even if the other person found you attractive and would have been willing to give you a chance, their level of attraction to you is just nowhere near the level you're showing to them, so they'll likely find the whole situation very off-putting. It's really best just to be decisive when you first develop feelings for somebody and either act on them immediately, or resolve never to, but if that isn't an option then at least try to play it a little bit cool. If it does work out, you can always confess that you were way more attracted to them than you initially let on once you're in a serious relationship. If you do it at the right time it'll be romantic. I had a similar experience years back. Except I never ended up admitting my feelings to her. We were really close friends but I had been harboring deep feelings toward her for years. I never wanted to tell her because I was also scared of what it would do to our friendship, so I just kept it to myself even though it really. Lo and behold, we ended up drifting apart as friends anyway. It's been at least 3 years since we last spoke. Happens. But now I'm left with wondering what could have happened if I had just told her how I felt, knowing now that our friendship wouldn't last forever regardless of if I confessed to her or not. That feeling probably sucks even worse. The not knowing. I think you saved yourself a lot of heartache by telling her. At least now you know and you don't have to live with the what if of it all. I know it may be hard to see that now, but I hope, for your sake, that in the future, you'll look back on this and realize you probably made the right choice. Not a emo. It was a massive elephant in the room and had to be addressed. Shame it went the way it did, but you meet new people. Trust me. Therapist here, I would super recommend talking to a professional. You're right, the situation has resolved itself. That doesn't mean it can't or that your feelings can't be hurt. Also, as a male therapist, I get real engaged when the term "I'll live" gets used because I've heard it from a lot of my clients, and it usually means I'm hurt but I know nobody gives a. Don't man up if you're hurt. You have a right to be hurt and a right to have someone listen to you. I'll get off my soapbox now. The FU here is not telling her earlier. Better to know and move on. You did the right thing. Now move on and find something new. moving on clean so much better than just being friends for another few years. There's a whole lot of advice and platitudes in this thread. You won't get that from me though. I just came to say sorry bro. That sucks. Let's say she was still open to being friends. Do you honestly think you would be able to push her feelings towards her aside? Like if she got a new BF you wouldn't mind it one bit? Because if you did still have any romantic feelings towards her then it's best you both just part ways like you did. It's harsh but you had to know, you already sabotaged one relationship because you didn't have closure for your friend, and you were hanging out with her. At least now you have a shot at really committing to the next girl you meet and you won't have one foot out the door again. Sometimes it's so hard to hear that a friend finds you romantically attractive, especially after so long. I had a male friend do something similar, and it just made me feel like he wasn't an actual friend, just someone hoping to date me if they stick around long enough. Kind of sullied how I felt and saw my friend. You're still young dude, you'll find your person. Communication is literally the best thing you'll do for yourself going forward. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Better certainty than who knows how many more years of doubt and dishonesty? Greater than even when I was in a relationship with a romantic relationship with another female woman, unless you're David Attenborough and making a documentary. The word you're looking for is woman. Dog, don't refer to women as female. Just don't. Maybe next time you have feelings for a friend, ask them out on a date instead of loading a confession upon their shoulders. If they decline, then you have your answer and never bring the subject up again. Here is why she ran. This is what a confession like that feels like from the woman's perspective. And you may not think it is all true, and maybe even some of it isn't, maybe, but this is what it would feel like to her. You weren't ever really friends. You were just hanging around waiting to be more, never fully invested in the friendship for its own sake. So every bit of friendship with her was a lie, crafted to lure her. Every bit of friendship you offered was a ploy to get in her pants. So she can't trust you because you lied for 4 years. She can't trust any gestures of friendship you offer because it has ulterior motive. She is going to now constantly be feeling the pressure to give in to you. She will never be able to be herself around you for fear of you taking it the wrong way or getting false hope. She will never be able to be herself around you because everything you do she is going to have her guard up in case you are making a move. She will be heartbroken because she thought you were her friend. She will also be heartbroken because she was a friend to you and she knows this hurts you too. And as mad as she is, she also feels bad you are hurt. So she blames herself too for ever letting her guard down around you. All I can do? I'll live. Big changes in my life a few months ago, whole life flipped. Yeah, I waited long but I wasn't happy. Lied to myself a lot. Now that my life changed, might as well jump headfirst into being honest again. This right here. When you start wondering and going on with mental about another person, stop and go ask them out. It will go somewhere or it won't. If it goes somewhere, great. If not, you can avoid 5 years of wishful thinking and move on with your life sooner. Because now you have 5 years of hype to mull over and literally all of it was in your head and not based in an actual relationship. From her perspective, the whole 5 years of friendship feels like a lie. So she doesn't want to continue it because she feels betrayed. The whole confessing thing is just so silly. Don't dump all your feelings on them, just ask them out. And do it well before 5 years have passed. Quiet pining is underrated. It is fully possible to respect someone else and your own feelings when you have feelings for someone that you know it won't work with. You have to be an adult about boundaries, what exactly you do together, and how you act, but if nobody managed their uncomfortable emotions, society wouldn't function. I did for a long time. She was in a relationship for a long time and broke up with her partner this time last year. We still hung out one-on-one. It's whatever. Up may have added to this by saying he had feelings for the last 4 years, even while they were both in separate relationships. I've asked out friends before when we both ended up single, and I feel like there is a way to do it that doesn't put so much pressure on the other person. She may have felt that Op had too much invested in this crush, and that it would stay in the back of his mind. There is a difference between someone being your friend to get into your pants and someone developing feelings for you during your friendship. People cannot control how their feelings develop, and getting to know someone and spending time with them can lead to a person developing such feelings. It is no different to how a person may spend time with someone they are dating. They aren't necessarily just trying to get into your pants, they just genuinely like who you are. I can't believe I had to scroll down this far for this comment. Female gives me incel vibes. Why is this the de facto take I've seen in the comments section? Is it really that strange to hide feelings because you don't want to torpedo a friendship? Emotions are difficult, and I'm willing to bet Op wasn't hiding his for some ulterior motive. He seemed to be willing to continue the friendship after the rejection too, which means he was also in it for support and trust and not just to bang. If the friendship mattered to her, she should be able to push through all those doubts and not cut ties. I confessed to a friend in a way that made it look like it was fading away. She was honest and told me she would never talk to me if the feelings were fresh. Now I don't care. One day at a time. It's not that you foo, it's just the outcome wasn't reciprocated, and that's hard to hear. But if your friendship was based on hidden feelings on your side and they cannot move past that, then the friendship you felt was shaky and not as strong as you felt. Knowing where you stand now gives you freedom to move on, and you owe that to yourself. Go out, make new friendships based on how you feel about the individual. If it's more than friendship you feel when you meet people, then be honest to yourself and explore that avenue up front. Don't friend zone yourself if you want/deserve more. Don't let yourself think you should have just kept lying. This outcome doesn't feel good, but it's what you needed to get the freedom to focus on someone new. The FU was not telling her 4 years ago. She wasn't your friend, she was your crush. There's a big difference, and it wasn't good for either of you. First of all, I'm very sorry you're going through this. It feels trite to say things will get better, but they will. I had my life turned upside down 18 months ago. The fallout has made me reveal things to my wife that I'd never thought I needed to reveal. Aspects of childhood that I thought were safely buried away. They were not. I found myself trying to minimize how I was feeling to her and holding things back. I learned I can't do that. A couple of times, I told her I was okay when I really wasn't, and I had to admit that. I'd start saying I feel bad for making you worry, and had to stop mid-sentence because it minimizes her ability to help. I had to tell her what was inside my head. It's definitely better to be honest. That doesn't mean being brutally honest, in a rude way, but hidden things tend to come out at the most inopportune times. Because of the lessons I've faced, I'm now drafting an email to my oldest brother, explaining there are many problems in our relationship that need to be addressed, if he even wants to have a relationship. This is a long time coming and I don't know how he'll react. But we definitely need to come to an understanding. My wife has been behind me 100% through all of this, and we had a good relationship before, but it's even better, and I feel better as a person. It's also taken a lot of counseling. Honesty is generally the best policy. Use tact, and say things at the appropriate time, but be honest. I got over that mentality in middle school, they like you back or they don't. Simple. Maybe, or she wanted to be friends with him regardless. You don't know. It's not just about Op's choice, and it's weird to think of dating like it is. Honestly, people stay friends with their ex all the time. I think a romantic confession is less serious. Give her a little time, and consider letting her know that the friendship is most important. Once the weird vibes are out of the way, it might be back to normal. Yeah, it's a weird thing. I know I'm going to catch feels in the direction of female friends if I'm single and have been for a while. Finding a way of murdering those feelings quickly takes them out for good, but I've found that suppressing them makes them worse. There is something in the brain that clicks when you stab the feelings, or she stabs them without realizing it. This is more effective, that kills off the potential partner branch of the relationship tree and allows for the growth of a very strong friendship bonsai. The reason why people have this default thinking is because it is born from a toxic perception of how people view men's emotions. I don't disagree that there are people who choose to maintain a friendship for the chance to get with someone while they are single or some convoluted attempt to win them over. But to label someone as having an ulterior motive for developing feelings is really just rooted in this idea that all men are craved beasts with no emotions. Ulterior literally strips the idea of having feelings for a female friend as being some methodical plan based on trying to sleep with someone. It ignores the fact that men are humans with emotions that they do not have control over that may be born out of genuine love or affection instead of just trying to sleep with someone. That's completely different from me. Once I've been friends with a girl long enough, I can't ever look at them in a dating way again. My technique has been to date their friends instead. Lol. When speaking of female friends, you used the words murdering, takes them out for good, suppressing, stabs, kills off the potential partner. r/boomer humor. Girl best friends are the best wingmen. Most of the girls I've met and hung out with I met through her or at an event we're at together. I know this might be something of a damp squid, but it is actually nip it in the bud.